Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Z-Man Show. Mike here, talking season 11, episode 11 for The Walking Dead. And you know what, guys, I have to say, I was genuinely feeling really, really good for Eugene at the beginning of this episode. I mean, Eugene was with Stephanie. I mean, they were in bed together, you know. I mean, she's reading his book. I mean, really, everything was just way too good to be true, right? I mean, in fact, I was thinking to myself, like, what's going on here? I mean, how can you find that much happiness? But I was like, hey, go, Eugene, you know? Finally knocked it out. Yeah, all for nothing, it seems, as we learn the literal awful truth of what happened, you know, with this Stephanie chick and what she's been leading Eugene on this entire time. I mean, maybe a lot of us already saw this one coming. In fact, my wife did. She goes, maybe something sinister here, because basically Eugene, they're getting ready to meet for ice cream later that afternoon after a great evening together, this or that, and she doesn't show. He goes to see up, and we see in her room, there looks like some shadows going on. I'm wondering if there's a struggle, and what do we see is that she's packing like crazy fast. And so immediately I was thinking, like, oh, sinister thoughts, or, you know, like something's going down with the government, and they're telling her you better leave, or we're going to kill you, or this. I mean, who knows what. But my wife called it. She said, no, or she's just no good. And I was like, no. Here's me being hopeful. Stupid Mike, always being hopeful about everything. And yeah, she's dirty. So Stephanie's not even her real name. Her name is Shira. Or Shira. Shira? Shira. Shira. And we find out that she's basically working for Hornsby, you know, the Mr. Pink and Blue suit dude or whatever, Speaker of the House, if you will, for this colony of the Commonwealth. And, you know, I guess I should have saw this one fully coming, and I'm sure a lot of you already did, but let me know if you didn't see it coming. Did it surprise you? Because I thought this would be better. But as we saw throughout the episode, and I'm just going to kind of jump around just a tiny bit. Of course, Hornsby was trying to make him think that he was going crazy, because there was this guy who was exiting the building right as Eugene was going to visit Stephanie that night, and he thought that this guy had something to do with it. And this dude is shady as hell. I mean, he had like this kind of kidnap kit type thing. It had a pistol in there, knife, gloves, a whole shebang in there, kind of hidden in his room. Apparently that certain citizens can have these things if they are a citizen of the colony. Yeah, right, Hornsby. But yeah, apparently he had a work order. He is a plumber. Yeah, I'm sure he's a plumber. Maybe on the books, but what's he doing on the side, right? Eugene, he was able to basically track them down finally to this last building. I guess it kind of was like an aha moment. And when he went in, you know, what did you think about that? He gets pretty much drop kicked right there in the stomach. And as he falls to the ground, gasping for air, and I was like, you gotta be shitting me. And it was her. It was Stephanie, or Shira, or whatever. And she did. She dropped him, didn't say a word. I mean, how freaking cold is that? And then Hornsby comes down the stairs, and he's like, I'll deal with it. So you guys know what happened from there. I mean, I'm just a bit shocked. I mean, how cold and calculated. And also, furthermore, what is the Commonwealth really up to? Like, what is their real agenda? Because that's what I'm having a hard time trying to figure out. So let me know if you have any thoughts on that. Are they trying to just bring in more people? Because as we saw in some other drama throughout the episode, which again, this episode wasn't exactly amazing, but they're trying to show us a lot of the different dramatic elements of what's going on in the society of the Commonwealth, between the government to the lowly workers. I mean, they're trying to show us the whole shebang. And we found out a little bit of other information about some military guy who I guess had either seen or been a part of something. He was calling out the military for being corrupt along with the government, because the government's corrupt in the military. And suddenly the dude was like under arrest in like a hospital bed. And then the next thing you know, the dude's vanished. And we see a list of people that's given to Connie and Kelly. Like they're acting like little reporters for the Tribune or whatever like that, and they got to write up some kind of summary for the Governor Milton or whatever, the leader. But they're not buying it, so they're going out with Mercer, you know, the big orange armored dude or whatever, and they're trying to find out more information. And you know, they get a list of names later that night, which is weird. Like their light kind of flickered, and then suddenly a message showed up underneath their door. And it said something, well, it had a list of all these names, and it looked like people that pretty much are disappearing probably from this Commonwealth society. And that Tyler Davis, I think was his name, that military guy, is now part of it. And he is gone. Nobody can find him. So something's going on. So again, I'm bringing this back in. I want to understand, what is their angle? Like, are they bringing in more and more people because as they find troublemakers within their society, they're pretty much finding ways to nix them, get them gone, meaning dead more than likely, and then bringing in new, fresh meat, you know, people to take their places as doctors, enforcers, whatever the heck they need. I think that's their angle. But let me know if you think of something else. I'd be curious to know. But yeah, again, tonight's episode not super crazy awesome. I mean, I had a couple times. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wanted to yawn, but I was just kind of like, okay. And my wife was like, "Are you digging this episode?" And I'm like, it's okay. I know what they're trying to do here. And think back to the Governor days, right? When they were showing the Governor and his little society and stuff, and we got to see things kind of like this. There were different dramatic elements, but we were seeing it throughout. But I guess you could say, well, yeah, this has already been done. Well, this is true, but this is a different colony, and this is a lot bigger colony as well. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. You know, you guys, what I'm really wondering is, I hope Walking Dead isn't straying from what the core of the show truly is, and what is that? I mean, well, it's people surviving. It's, the Walking Dead, which is really meaning the people, right? Versus the actual zombies themselves. I mean, we got a little bit of zombie action tonight, not much. In fact, I was like, where's the zombies at? And suddenly we had a couple of scenes with a couple of their troopers running away, and Mercer just comes in and destroys these things, just kind of showing that he is a totally formidable dude. I mean, you don't want to mess with this guy. Not to mention the dude's just jacked. Beyond all relief. So, but we're going to get into some more interesting things pretty soon, because we see future episodes showing Maggie and talking with Daryl about, do you trust these people? And Daryl's saying, well, not necessarily. And again, what's this true angle? Because, I mean, the Commonwealth, they're saying, yeah, you can come in, we'll take care of you, leave when you want. We're even going to help your society, or your colony build back up and get back to where it needs to be. I did see a little scene from one of the next episodes showing the Governor Milton or whatever chick, and she was saying something about how we can't continue to bleed our supplies for others, which I assume they mean Alexandria and so forth. So tensions are going to rise here. This is for sure. Is Eugene going to be able to let this go, though, with the whole Shira Stephanie thing? And then furthermore, at the very, very end of the episode, a woman in the dark in the background is calling to Eugene as he's burning his book. Poor guy, he's burning everything, all the pictures of Stephanie and this and that, or little drawings. And then she says a comment that something about Taterbug or whatever, which was exactly what was over those conversations. And we see that it's the aide of Milton. She's the one that had the knife held to her throat in the last episode by that disgruntled, enforcer guy who ended up getting beat up by Princess. But anyways, she reveals that she was the one talking to Eugene during all that time. It wasn't even Shira. I mean, isn't that something? It wasn't even the girl. When you notice the voice, though, I'm kind of wondering to myself, but it's possible not. I guess a lot of females maybe sound similar, maybe. But so we find out it was the aide. So maybe it's the aide who actually was building that connection with Eugene. And I did forget her name, of course. I'll have it here right below. But anyways, let's see where this is going to go, guys. I don't know. But I'd like to know what you thought about tonight's episode. Let me know. I give this one about it. I don't know. I was going to be generous to give it maybe a little closer to like a 6.5, but I think I'm leaning towards a 6, really. I mean, it was interesting drama. Yeah, it's revealing some things for the Commonwealth. But again, kind of looking to see where this is all truly going here as we're in part 2 of this season 11 for Walking Dead. So let me know what you guys thought. Make sure to check out my indie series. It's still out there. And yes, I will be getting to filming pretty soon, finishing a little kitchen remodel that the wife's making me do. I didn't say it, but I just said it. And once that's done, we're going to hopefully get back to some zombie filming action. So yeah, Dead Nightmare, go out and check it out on YouTube if you get a chance. And other than that, guys, I will catch you at the next review. See you later.